What's going on, everybody? AOJ back here with the boys at NAHA for our final Nirvana Super Shisha Tobacco review. What a mouthful. So with that said, this is going to be the last time you guys are going to see my beautiful face on the intros, for now at least. But today we are doing Zombie Hunter. Got this from Bassam over at medwalk.com, and straight into the tobacco. It's somewhat going to be very, very similar to the last Nirvana review that we did, as far as the color, the texture. So natural in color, fairly juicy, and that once again fine chopped up, almost like pipe tobacco type of cut. As far as the smell goes, when I first smelt this flavor, it resembled cherry Starburst. It has that same aroma, that sweet, sour, tangy aspect of that Starburst cherry. It's kind of a cherry that you expect mostly all cherry shishas to smell like. It smells very good, and it also has like a nutty, sweet flavor to it. I'm not entirely sure if that's coming off the tobacco alone, but it does have that almost like very, very sweet aroma to it. It's kind of replicating or kind of similar to Tangier's maraschino cherry, but not all there. It's not in a complete mirror of Tangier's maraschino cherry, but it's almost the same idea. It smells very good in my personal opinion, but we are all smoking out of a funnable Cloud Lotus, regular Egyptian style hookahs, tap one in base, and big wide gauge hookah hoses. So you guys want me to tell you guys about the flavoring, but I have a few other people that I would like to go first, and we'll start off with Canadian Shisha.
Thanks, Jay. I'm Canadian Shisha, and I'll do my portion of the review. First off, I have to say I did smoke the original Zombie Hunter, and this is the new cut, new tobacco. I always did love this graphic. One of the best graphics on any tobacco I've seen, so good job with your guys' packaging. It's the first thing I wanted to mention. I love the packaging. But let me get into the actual review for you guys. Great clouds, big and puffy, very smooth actually. Compared to the other Nirvana Super Shishas that I've smoked, Zombie Hunter does seem a little bit more smooth, and it does have a very bold flavor, just like the Citrus OD. I'm getting a different flavor from this Zombie Hunter than I did from the original. I'm finding it more sweet, more bold. You get a lot more of that cherry kind of fruit punch in there. It's really, really good. I do, if I had to give it a rating, I'm going to give it definitely an 8 out of 10. It's up there, but I love it. I love everything about it. The new cut is very easy to handle and pack your bowls with. It's super, super fine, super choppy. It's unlike any other cut that I've dealt with in the past. And all in all, it's a very, very great tobacco. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Let me take one more cloud for you guys. There you guys have it. 8 out of 10. Up next is Smoker Pass.
Thank you, Canadian Shisha. How's it going, everybody? It's Sean with Smoker Pass, and it's time for me to give you my take on Nirvana Zombie Hunter. Alright, so I'm going to jump into the smell of this because that was one of the things that caught me on this flavor. If I was in my local head shop and I came across this flavor and smelled it, I would have put it right back on the shelf. To me, the smell of this smells like nail polish, and I was a little worried when I got it because I actually kind of didn't want to smoke it. But do not let your nose fool you on this one, because your taste buds would definitely hate you. Because to me, this tastes like brains. No, not brains, but it does taste like fruit punch. Fruit punch is pretty much the only flavor that I'm getting out of this, and I kind of had to check myself the first time that I smoked it, because I was worried that I might have had too cold of water in the base, because I was getting a kind of a cooling sensation, but only slightly. So the second time around, I made sure that the water wasn't super cold in the base, and still I kind of got this faint cooling sensation. I would love for there to be some type of cooling sensation in this, but for an overall, the longevity on this flavor for me, the fruit punch, it's nice. I wish it lasted a little bit longer. I know that I've had plenty of Super Shisha now, and this one didn't quite last as long as the others. So an overall rating for me is going to be 8 out of 10. I still love the clouds. I still love the new formula. It's definitely a nice pickup. Like I said, don't let your nose fool you. It's a very enjoyable smoke. So it's time for me to pass it on to someone else, and that person is the hookah enthusiast, Mike. Catch you guys later. Brains.
Thank you, Smoker Pass. What's up, guys? It's Mike here for you, giving you my take on Nirvana Super Shisha Zombie Hunter. So here we go. So, very nice clouds, as to be expected when you're smoking Nirvana. As far as the flavor goes, it is a more or less a maraschino cherry type of flavor, but it closely resembles a fruit punch, which a lot of us had agreed that it's simply put just more or less a cherry flavored fruit punch, kind of like a Hawaiian punch. Very, very good. I myself am not big on cherry flavors, but Zombie Hunter, even the first Nirvana Super Shisha Zombie Hunter, I was a big fan of. And since the revamping, the new Nirvana Zombie Hunter, it's even better than the last time around, and I even enjoy it more than what I could the last time around, which couldn't be much more. But the difference with this and the old Zombie Hunter is that while it's still the same cherry flavor, they seem to have toned down the cooling sensation on the end of this one. I myself barely notice it, but others might. It could be there, it might not be there. Overall, it's a nice maraschino cherry type of flavor, and I highly enjoy it. This is a flavor that I can see myself smoking a lot of. A lot of times I go 2 rounds of coals, change a flavor up. This one, I can smoke for hours and not get sick of it. And again, I'm going to keep it in my stash. That being said, my final rating is a 10 for 10. I love what they've been doing with the new Nirvana, from the packaging to the new tobacco they're using, the new Doka, the different formula, how they process it. Very, very good stuff, and I highly recommend it. So, 10 for 10 for me, and up next, MG Hookah.
Thanks a lot, Mike. It's MG Hookah here to give you guys my take on Nirvana Super Shisha Zombie Hunter. So as you can see right off the bat, very thick, dense white clouds coming off again with Nirvana. You're going to get extremely, extremely thick smoke coming off it. This one, on the other hand, was a little bit juicier. It's very smooth. There's no hotness to it whatsoever, so it's a very smooth flavor. Should be able to take a very deep inhale and get extremely thick smoke. So as far as that goes for this one, no surprise there at all. But as far as the taste, it's a very nice Hawaiian punch, Hawaiian fruit drink, tropical fruit punch flavor to me. You can take a very deep inhale. Like I said, it's very smooth. So it tastes just like you're drinking a fresh Hawaiian punch or tropical fruit punch, something along those lines. It's a very nice cherry and pineapple mixture. It's fairly evenly balanced. but the cherry's a little bit stronger than the pineapple or whatever the other flavor would be, but the cherry is definitely the stronger one, but overall it's a very even balance. With that being said, it's very smooth. This is the perfect flavor for you guys to start out on if you're just trying Nirvana right off the start. You know, some people think there's a little bit of hotness to it or whatsoever you want to say about it, but this is the perfect flavor for you guys to start out with as far as the Nirvana line goes, to get used to a little bit of the hotter smokes as you move down the line of the flavors. But this one's the perfect starter. It's very smooth, very easy to handle, very easy to manage. So with that being said, I'll have to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's a perfect flavor. It tastes just like you're drinking a fresh Hawaiian punch, and it's a very nice pineapple cherry mixture, and like I said, it's very smooth, so it's the perfect starting flavor. So with that being said, perfect 10 out of 10 for me, and the Hookah Demon is up next.
Thanks a lot, MG Hookah. I am the Hookah Demon, and here is my take on Nirvana Super Shisha Zombie Hunter. Now, when I first smell this flavor, it smells a lot like Hawaiian Punch's fruit punch, and that's pretty much the only thing I can smell out of it, and I'm really thinking that's what they were going with it. And so let me take a puff on this and tell you guys what I think about it. As you can tell, it's producing really big clouds, and the flavor output is just phenomenal. It is, to me, it's just like drinking fruit punch. I mean, it's not as strong as it smells for me, but it's strong enough to the point where I can tell that it is a fruit punch flavor. And I might be getting it wrong completely, but to me it does really, really taste like fruit punch, and I do enjoy fruit punch flavors. Now, the flavor I'm going to have to compare it to is probably Tangier's Tropical Punch. I think that's what it's called. But that's what it smells like to me, and it pretty much tastes the same, but without as much as a kick as Tangier's brings. So, my overall rating for Nirvana Super Shisha Zombie Hunter, I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really good flavor. It's a really good summer flavor to smoke all summer long, because it's not such a sweet flavor, and a lot of people like drinking Hawaiian Punch in the summer. So 9 out of 10 for me. I got Dragonfly Mike up next.
Thank you very much, Hookah Demon. This is Dragonfly Mike 77, and on to my segment of the review. The new revamped Super Shisha is fantastic when it comes to clouds. I have a fan going so they kind of swirl around and look a little thinner. But the cloud output on this is fantastic. When it comes to the flavor, on the inhale you get a good solid cherry / Hawaiian Punch-like flavor. And on the exhale, it just pops. This flavor pops more than most tobaccos, even my favorite tobaccos. This flavor, when it comes to flavor strength, is almost perfect for me. It's not too strong, it's not too sweet. This flavor is fantastic. I can't say that enough. The cherry in it, again, it's not too sweet, but it's not too light. For me, the rating is a 9 out of 10. By far my favorite cherry flavor on the market. This is fantastic. The only reason I'm knocking a point off is because it's so good on the first round. It just doesn't hold as much awesomeness on the second round, third round Coles as the first round, but still an incredibly solid flavor. As I stated before, this is my favorite cherry flavor on the market. Real quick, I don't want to ramble, but the old version of Zombie Hunter kind of had a little bit of a cooling menthol kick to it. They got rid of that, but this flavor is still smooth, it's still crisp, it's heavy, fantastic flavor. I think that's all I got, and back to you, AOJ.
Well, there it is, the group's overall opinion on Nirvana's Super Shisha Zombie Hunter, besides my own once again. So I'm going to show you guys a couple clouds and give you guys my honest opinion on Zombie Hunter. So here we go. So once again, big white puffy clouds. very exceptional clouds. But as far as the tobacco and the flavoring as a whole, actually, before I get into the actual flavoring, I just want to point out for people that are very familiar with my taste and the way that I like certain tobacco and certain flavorings, this is probably gonna be more based towards you. I'm still getting a little heaviness and a little throat tickle from the Hookah, but it's not enough to really turn me off from this flavor. It's still very much a good flavoring, and the overall flavoring, because it tastes so good, that little heaviness and that tickle doesn't bother me at all. So once again, it just tastes very similar to like a Starburst cherry. Has that sweet sour aspect to it, and then the underside of this, the flip side I guess you can say, it also has a sweet, nice mellow sweetness flavoring to it as well. Like I said, and like everybody else said, or mostly everybody else said, it reminds them more or less like Tangier's maraschino cherry. For me, it does as well. It has that same, I guess you can say, idea, that same concept, that sweet cherry flavoring, but it's just a different type of cherry, and it's a different type of sweetness. So like I said, it is very similar to Tangier's maraschino cherry, but it's not very identical. It has its own twist, its own character to it, and it is still very good. It still is a very good flavoring. My personal opinion, I'm going to go ahead and rate it a 10 out of 10 because I like it that much. So the overall group rating would be a 9 out of 10. And if you guys want to try Nirvana's Super Shisha Zombie Hunter, you can find it over at medwalk.com. I'm AOJ. This is NAHA. Until the next time with my intros and outros, we'll see you guys later.